Now let's get back to Cleveland, where they're getting ready for the primetime program to begin tonight at 8. Tonight's theme is Make America Safe Again. Of course, a play off Trump's great campaign slogan, to make America great again. Joining me now is one of Trump's biggest supporters from Massachusetts. He is his co-chair in the state, Republican State Rep Geoff Diehl. Representative, thanks so much for being here. So,
Jim, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. As we learned a little bit earlier in the show, you're a lonely man when it comes to elected people from Massachusetts. Nobody from the state Senate who's Republican, very few reps who are Republican, no governor, no lieutenant governor. Are you troubled that Charlie Baker is not in Cleveland, Geoff Diehl?
Not at all. In fact, I've been saying this all along. Look, there was 17 candidates. A lot of people chose different people to support. I know the governor had his person. It doesn't surprise me that, Donald Trump won, and I was the only one at the time who supported him. But look, the other thing too is Donald Trump has brought millions of new people into this party. The convention here is full of people who aren't typical politicians. They are grassroots activists who have become delegates, and this is a party for the future. So, I know the governor's got work to do in Boston to wrap up this session in the next 2 weeks, and I certainly appreciate that. And again, I think that this convention signals sort of a new generation of people joining the Republican Party.
Well, there is another governor who I'm guessing is going to show up, Mike Pence from Indiana. I know it's only anecdotal so far, but since the formal announcement on Saturday, what's the reception he's getting from you and your fellow delegates, Geoff Diehl?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to the Ohio delegates, somebody from New Jersey, and they love the pick. Mike Pence, coming from Indiana, shores up the conservative credentials that people were worried about with Donald Trump. Takes care of the base, and I think even the Ted Cruz folks who are here, maybe not necessarily thinking they're going to support Donald Trump, can be happy with that. In fact, Ted Cruz is now coming, he'll be speaking, so I think that proves that. And at the same time, Donald Trump can continue the process of what he's been doing this whole time, which is reaching out and bringing new people into the party, independents, even Democrats who see that he's got a better future for the economy and for international and domestic safety.
Speaking of bringing people into the party, while the elected Republican leadership in Massachusetts obviously isn't crazy about your guy, he won the primary big time, and I've read you say on more than one occasion you think that the bluest of states, Massachusetts, could be up for grabs in November. Make your case, Representative.
I know everybody says I'm crazy, but I'll tell you what, the Speaker of the House, Robert Diehl, agrees with me. He thinks that Massachusetts could go for Donald Trump. Look, Bernie Sanders gave Hillary Clinton all he could give her, and she barely won Massachusetts. I think there's a lot of dissatisfied Sanders voters that could come over to Donald Trump. And let's not forget, Scott Brown was written off. He wasn't going to beat Martha Coakley, and yet he really hit home with the union households. The fact of the matter is people haven't seen their wages go up in years, even today. So Donald Trump is speaking to that issue as well, and I think that's a really big reason why we could see a big surprise in Massachusetts.
Whatever happened to Scott Brown, by the way? I can't remember. In any case, so Geoff Diehl.
He's involved.
To Make America Safe Again is the theme tonight. Obviously, he said he wants to, your guy wants to declare war on ISIS. He'd be tougher protecting cops, for example. He's saying, just on the one thing, ISIS, when he says we're going to declare war against ISIS, what does that mean exactly? What does it mean to declare war against ISIS?
Yeah, I mean, I think domestically, obviously, there's a concern about vetting the Syrian refugees, for example. I know that's a controversial issue, but he's talked about maybe doing a pause on people coming from these areas where we can't screen to make sure that there's no more domestic terrorism. I think also allowing our military to, have better rules of engagement when they're dealing with the enemy abroad. I know that, President Obama had committed to drawing down the military presence. He's now sending people back. I think Donald Trump wants to let our military do their job and try to finish off ISIS if possible. I think that's kind of speaking to what he wants to do there.
So who gets to cast the Massachusetts votes on the roll call for Donald Trump? It's a pretty honored position. Is it you?
It is not me. There was a lot of grassroots folks here who did a lot of work, and I think, somebody will be speaking. I don't even know if it's been determined yet, but I want to let somebody who's really put the hard work in from day one, and who represents, the non-politician, be the person to give the roll call there.
You're a kind soul, Geoff Diehl. Have fun at the convention. Good luck with everything. Representative Geoff Diehl. We'll talk to you soon.